We do conduct events to generate curiosity in children to keep the learning going. So science event is happening now, and lots of other events are already here. If you can just go and click, all our past and the upcoming events are all listed out there. And we have a lot of blogs which are very enriching and on a wide array of subjects which are of much interest to parents and students alike. So that is all an extensive collection, I would say, and our awards and recognizations. And we also have some testimonial from very satisfied parents. And our informations are there. I would, so exactly how Skoolz platform works for a parent is you just have to go and type in the area in which you are looking for a school or a hobby class. So K. Narayanpura is an area in Bangalore. I've just picked it up, and it will tell you how many schools are there in that area. We have, in our own platform, we have onboarded 171 schools. They are all listed here with all the details. All these are all the schools that are registered. A lot of play schools and K-12, everything. So another feature that every parent who comes to Skoolz platform is very happy to explore is our compare option, the compare feature that we have. So here, if you want to compare the ILM pathway preschool, you just have to click on this compare button, and you can compare 3 schools at a go. So let's just take one more school. Yeah, we can. Hello, Alpia and Kabir. Now, if you hit compare, there's a comparison of all 3 preschools are there for the parent to review and view, which makes a parent to make a conscious, educated choice, the best to find the best fit for their children, much more easier. As we say at Skoolz, everything is available for you on a platform at the click of a button. So I encourage all our parent community here to explore this and find the benefit. And one another very good option that we have here is if you go to any one particular school, you can book an appointment. You can book a virtual appointment, or you can call them. You can even apply for your preferred schools. All the information is here on the page, like the interviews of the leadership and extensive how each school is from the other. Their information, their social handles, how to reach them, call, book an appointment. And our YouTube channel is filled with a lot of information like advantages and disadvantages of CBSE. NEP has been broken down and made it very easily palatable for students and the teaching staff. And many videos and webinars are all here. So I, please do go explore, and I'm sure you will come out benefited. This was a small intro or into our platform, how it is, what it is. So Sheela, ma'am, thank you so much for being here and also going through this with us. I would like to introduce Madam to all our viewers and audience here. Meanwhile, that is taking that is done. I would like to introduce Madam to the audience. Dr. Sheela is a former scientist with the IISc. She completed her BSc and MSc from the University of Bangalore, and then she joined the Indian Institute of Science to pursue PhD. She worked on electrical and magnetic properties of low-dimensional materials there, and she has a post-doctoral fellowship from Oxford University, UK, and Princeton University from USA. And she has published close to 100 international papers in international scientific journals. And in addition, she has also written many popular articles on issues like pollution and water usage. And if our audience thought that Madam deals only with facts and figures and science, she has even written a fictional novel, The Meticulous Plan. So welcome, Madam, to this webinar. We are truly delighted to have you here with us. It's a pleasure, definitely. And we are here to know more about how the environment and us are connected and how to explore it with Madam. Madam, over to you.
Okay. Please leave your speakers on, because I'm going to ask you questions and I would expect some responses from you people, because when you respond, I will know that you have understood the meaning of words that I'm using. Okay. So, okay. First and foremost, when we say environment, what do you understand from the word environment or environment? Because, Americans pronunciation is different, British pronunciation is different. Okay, environment. What do you understand from the word environment?
Surround.
Huh?
Surround.
Okay.
Surroundings.
Okay, very excellent. Okay, so it is not just the surroundings, it is everything around us. Like, people, the materials, the trees, the plants, the air, everything around us is environment. Right? It encompasses everything around us. I mean, surroundings is fine, but to be more precise, you have to include all these elements of the world, right? Then that becomes an environment. Okay, now, if we have to protect our environment, we need to keep it clean, right? So how do we keep our environment clean? No, you should not ask your parents. I mean, what is your answer? How do you think? What do you think we should do to keep our environment clean? We define what our environment is. So how do we keep it clean? If we have to keep it clean, what is it that we have to do? Okay, Rutvik, do you want to answer? Rutvik Datta? Do you want to answer? Please unmute.
Then we have to throw the garbage in the dustbins, and we have to use electric vehicles. We have to
Very good, my God.
plant more trees.
No, not just that. There are several other things that we have to do. We'll come to each one of them separately, one by one. Okay. So first thing first, we have to control the garbage, isn't it? I mean, we should not throw things around us just like that. There should always be a garbage dump, and then a garbage can, and then you have to put all your garbage in that, and then there are disposable, recyclable garbage, and then there is non-recyclable garbage.
Keep it in the garbage can, ma'am.
Yes, excellent. Okay, and more importantly, we should not throw around plastic. Why is it? Why shouldn't we throw around plastic? What happens if we throw plastic?
We should not throw plastic.
Why?
Because it will become a dirty place. And also it harms animals too, ma'am.
Okay, that's one reason. The other main reason.
Sheshadri, all South Indian.
No, the other scientific reason is that plastic does not degrade. Okay, so it kind of is as plastic for hundreds of years. So which means we are polluting the ground, right? So plastic does not degrade, and that is the reason why we should not throw around plastics, right? That's the scientific reason. Okay, the animals eat and all that is, because animals are roaming around in our country, so we have that problem. In other countries, that problem doesn't exist because animals don't just roam around. Cattle don't roam around. So that problem does not exist in other parts of the world. Okay, so the scientific reason all over the world is that plastic does not degrade. Okay, so because of that, we should not throw around plastic. Plastic should be recycled. And for that, there is the recycle bin, which is kept separately. So you have to dump it there. Okay, now the next word I want to introduce is pollution. What do you mean? What do you understand from the word pollution? Sneha, do you want to respond? Sneha, do you want to respond?
Land pollution. We should not use too many cars. We should not use so many cars.
What's that?
Harmful products in the environment is pollution.
Yes,
We
exactly.
keep the air clean.
Arush, can you come on to the video? Arush and Sneha.
Any harmful products around us is pollution.
No, introduction of harmful products in the atmosphere. Introduction of anything in the atmosphere that has harmful effects is polluting, right? So that's what is called polluting. So now, what are the things that can we are introducing in the atmosphere that pollute? For example, suppose we take air. Okay, air around us. We breathe the air all the time, right? 24 hours a day, we breathe. We have to keep breathing, otherwise we can't live. So, what are the things that are polluting in the air? Can anybody talk about it?
Even vehicles and garbages.
Vehicles, garbage. Okay, from garbage, what do you get? You said garbage. Okay, from garbage, what do you get? For example, cow dung. Suppose you put a lot of cow dung in a place. What comes out of cow dung after a few days?
Ozone gas.
Excellent. My God, you guys are well informed. Carbon monoxide, ozone, nitrogen. There are lots of nitrogen oxides, NO, NO2, and N2O5. Lots of nitrogen oxides are there. So they all keep coming out of cow dung, right? So cow dung should not be left in open. Okay, it happens only in countries like ours where, we have a lot of cattle walking around and, there's cow dung on the road. Okay, so we have to be careful about it. We have to inform the person who pollutes not to pollute, right? We have to be more responsible about our environment ourselves, because if we leave everything to our government to take care and our corporators to take care, it's not going to happen because they have too many things to worry about. So we as citizens, we have to be a lot more responsible, and then we have to inform others not to do it. Okay, so cow dung is one example. Then vehicles. Okay, what comes out of a vehicle? You see this tail lamp, right? What comes out of a tail lamp of a vehicle? Chemicals that come out of the tail lamp of a vehicle. No, you have to unmute. You guys have to unmute and talk.
We get
Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide.
Okay. And
water.
okay. And very, very
Greenhouse gases.
Nitrogen oxide.
okay. Okay.
Mostly greenhouse gases comes out.
Lots of greenhouse gases come out. Excellent, excellent. What is a greenhouse gas now? Tell me. Now that you have used that word, you please explain it to me. What is a greenhouse gas?
They are like,
saying something, but you know, you have muted.
ma'am.
Yes, please. Can you
They
come
are,
on video? Can you come on video, please?
Methane and carbon dioxide. Methane.
But the point is, what is a greenhouse gas? Why is it called a greenhouse gas? Okay, let me explain what a greenhouse gas is. Okay, so now have lot of this carbon dioxide, water vapor, and then methane, carbon monoxide, lot of these gases that come out of both coal plants as well as vehicle tailpipes. Okay? They are all around us and they all move to slightly higher atmosphere, little higher than us. And what happens is sun rays that come in, that warms up the ground, right? The sun rays warm up our ground, and then in the night, the heat from the ground is released. Okay, but the heat does not escape back into the space because these gas molecules, that is this carbon dioxide, methane, and all these bad gases, they absorb heat that is released from the ground, and then they send it back again to the ground. Okay, they send it back again to the ground. So they act like a blanket, you know, keeping all the heat that is coming out of the ground back to the ground. So it kind of, heat is moving only between that blanket and the ground. Okay, blanket and the ground. So because of that, the ground temperature keeps going up. That is what is called global warming. Okay, so all this is happening only because we are polluting the atmosphere. So how can we control the pollution? Do you know how we can control the pollution?
vehicle exhaust should be recycled.
By using fewer vehicles, that is, you know, if I just want to go to the main road and come back, I take out my scooter and go, or I not take out my car and go, I should walk. Right? By doing that, you are polluting less. So it's not just you, you have to tell your friends, your parents, your relatives, everybody not to use as little of the fuel burnt vehicles as possible. Okay, you really have to train your people to use less of fuel, less of petrol, less of diesel. You know, try to walk as much as possible. It is good for health and it is good for the atmosphere. It's good for the environment. Okay, so that's the first thing. So that is what is the greenhouse gas. These are called the greenhouse gases. And the effect of these greenhouse gases, it kind of absorbs the heat that is coming out of the ground and releases back to the ground. So it does not escape into the space. Okay, so because of that, we have global warming. That is the simplest behind greenhouse gas. Of course, there are very, very detailed calculations, very, very detailed studies. But to put it in a very simple way. Okay. Now, the other thing that we keep, we have to cut down the wastages, right? Now, where does the electricity come from? We kind of switch on the lights, and we switch on our computers, we switch on the TV, we switch on the geysers. Where does electricity come from?
It is supplied through poles.
Right.
Through natural gases. Natural gases.
No. How is it generated? How is electricity generated?
By other forms of energy that is converted into electrical energy.
No. What is the form of energy? I mean, how? See.
Nuclear energy.
Nuclear energy is one. Okay. And then?
Natural gases.
Okay, that is number two. That comes under more of less polluting way of generating electricity, natural gas. And then
solar energy, wind energy.
Oh, they are all renewable energies. They are excellent. And then
hydropower plants.
Okay, that is also a good answer. Then, but the
geothermal.
The main source of energy that India uses, we have missed. What is it? Coal. We burn a lot of coal to generate electricity. Right? So, if we waste a lot of electricity at home, we have to generate a lot of electricity. Right? So, coal thermal plants, they are the most polluting ways of generating electricity. Coal thermal plants are the real polluters, because they not only give out these bad gases, the greenhouse gases, they also give out a lot of carbon particles, which are called particulate matter. Okay, there is what is called PM10, that is, each particle is 10 microns in diameter. And then there is what is called PM2.5, which is particulate matter of diameter 2.5 microns. And then there is what is called PM1, okay, which is 1 micron diameter. And these particles keep going around. Okay, they are just all around. And then we keep breathing them. And then that causes a lot of pulmonary problems. And PM1 can go through your the trachea and your lungs and all that, and even enter the blood vessels. It is that harmful. It is that bad. Okay, so if we waste a lot of electricity at home, then a lot of electricity has to be generated to supply us, leading to a lot of pollution. So it is very important that we use electricity very diligently, that is switch off the power when we don't require. Okay, switch on the geyser only when we want, switch on the microwave and other gadgets at home only when we want, only for a short period of time, and then make it a point to switch them off. Okay, so that is a very, very important thing that we can really contribute to the environment. Okay, so please, from now on, please be careful, be aware of this fact. Never waste electricity. Okay. And then the other thing that we have to be careful about is water. Fresh water is really receding all over the world. And water is all polluted in most of the places. There is a lot, 3/4 of the world is water. That's seawater. But with that salt water, we can neither drink nor use it for any purpose. We want fresh water. And we don't have fresh water. For Bangalore, do you know from where the water comes? Water supply for Bangalore comes from where? Any of you know that? No? It comes all the way from KRS and Kabini. More than 250 kilometers away. And how does it come? There's a lot of pumping that needs to be done. And Mysore is at a lower height compared to Bangalore. Bangalore is at 920 meters height from sea level. Mysore is around 680. So a lot of uphill pumping needs to be done in order to bring water into Bangalore. So can you imagine the cost that is involved in bringing water into Bangalore? Is 30 crores every month. 30 crores every month. So that much, Water Supply Board spends to bring water to supply to Bangalore. Because there are no rivers around Bangalore and all the lakes that were there are all gone now. Buildings have come up on top of those lakes. So there are no lakes available. So it's only water from Kaveri that has to come to Bangalore. So you can imagine if one has to pump that much water from lower height to upper height, how much electricity is required and what kind of powerful pumps that have to be running to supply water to Bangalore. Right? So we have to be extremely careful about, wasting water. Every day washing our car, our scooters, it gets dirty anyway. After washing, you take it out, it gets dirty anyway. So why should one waste water, with a hose, you go around cleaning the cars and scooters and all that? Doesn't make sense at all. And washing the front yard. Every day it is washed. Because that is where I think as kids, you have to be aware of these facts. As kids, you have to, take a leadership role and train people around you to stop wasting water and electricity. Those two are the most important things. And the third comes the fuel. Right? So fuel is another thing that, extremely we have to be careful. And then, of course, garbage we spoke about. We have to reduce garbage. That is, you should not write on single side of paper and then throw it in and then not use the other side and throw it. And every day, every year you buy new books, that is fine. But then, keep the old books for rough work, if pages are left. Okay. So, I mean, in your own little way, you can protect the environment. And that I think is very, very important for protecting our environment. And without, reasonable environment by the global warming people have been talking about, right? Because from prehistoric days or pre-industrial period to now, the temperature has already gone up. And in the last 10 years or last 3 decades, it's been increasing very sharply. The ground temperature is increasing very, very sharply. What they say is by 2050, many of the species in the world will disappear because they cannot survive in a higher temperature. See, there are many creatures that have become extinct already. And this has really hit places like Australia and Africa and all those places, because these creatures are not used to such high temperatures. Okay, they are used to living in an atmosphere which has much lower temperatures. But now suddenly the ground temperature has increased, so they cannot survive. So they are becoming extinct. And actually what happened was polar bears from North Pole. You see, the point is during winter, the entire Arctic Sea freezes. Okay. And polar bears keep walking from North Pole to Iceland tip and all that. But then now, because of the global warming, the ice sheet melted between Iceland and North Pole. So they could not go back. And they cannot survive in Iceland because, that is not their habitat. So they had to be shot down. So such things do happen. And so, global warming is a very, very serious issue. I mean, we have to be conscious of it. We have to contribute in whatever little way we can to maintain the global temperature to below 2.5 degrees. I mean, 1.5 from now on. And that is going to happen only if we control the pollution. And of course, we have no control on, coal thermal plants, because that they are all run by the governments. The only place where we can contribute as citizens is cutting down on garbage around us. Okay, cutting down on methane. Methane actually lasts for multiple years. Okay, carbon dioxide lasts for a millennium. Once it is released, it can kind of, stay in the atmosphere for 1,000 years. I mean, I wish I could, put up some slides to show all these things, but maybe next time. Okay, this time I did not have enough time for, making slides, but, it's really alarming that, we have we have come to such a situation now. So we have to be careful. I mean, I don't want to frighten you guys, but, you have to be conscious of it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, we have to be conscious, cut down on fuel usage, cut down on electricity usage, cut down on water usage, and then reduce the garbage disposal. Garbage, basically garbage. See, the biodegradable garbage is fine. What do you mean by biodegradable garbage?
Ma'am, like waste which we can do no return paper.
What is it? Can you repeat it, please?
Ma'am, waste which we can degrade. Like return papers that degrade, ma'am. They are useless to us, but
Green wastes. Green wastes.
Yeah, the ones that degrade naturally. Okay, they degrade naturally and become part of the ground, right? Of the soil, of the ground. Then, you know, that is a biodegradable, and it does not release bad gases. No, one thing I forgot to tell you, from the cow dung and all that, methane is the main polluter. Methane gas comes out of this cow dung, for example. Okay, that is why it is used for you know, house cooking and all that, right? These days, you know, there are many plants which you know, use this cow dung to release methane gas, and then, you know, that is used for cooking and all that. So that's what it is. Okay, so what else? I mean, are there any questions in whatever I've described so far?
Children, do you have any questions? Do you want to know something more about your environment? Dr. Sheela would be happy to help. Or if you have any ideas how you have, you know, not wasted paper, or how you have reused something, share it with us. Ritvik, what do you do with your waste papers? Do you have any ideas? Anybody wants to ask ma'am anything? Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes, Ritvik.
ma'am, when I will use a paper, I will keep it for later. And when when I want to use a paper, I will take that paper and I will write more in that.
Fantastic. You're already reusing. I think ma'am was saying something about that. When you reduce, you can also reuse it. So good, Ritvik. Anybody else here who wants to share something with ma'am?
How many of you walk to the shops and all that?
Mommy,
Very good.
How many of you run? Tell madam that also. Running, skipping, hopping, cycling.
I'm cycling and running. I do cycling.
Very good, Sneha.
You
Anybody
cycle
else
to
here?
where? Cycle to where?
Actually, in till shop, till school.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you don't use a vehicle to go to school other than cycle.
No, my school is nearby.
Okay, very nice. No, but I know many people who, you know, live very close by, but still, you know, they sit on father's scooter and car and go to school.
Actually, in my Hyderabad, I have a cycle. I used to go my friend's house, and I will go for shops to bring like
Mensinkai and Kothambri soppu you go and buy, is it? Cycle?
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yes, please.
Which pollution is more worse, air pollution or water pollution?
You see, both are bad, but air pollution leads to global warming. Water pollution leads to health issues because, you know, you drink that polluted water that can have very bad health problems, because I know there's certain these organic pollutants that come out of factories and all that, which can cause cancer in a person. If somebody consumes it for certain duration of time, it can cause cancer. And of course, air pollution, what happens is this this carbon particles I was talking about, the particulate matter, that can cause a lot of respiratory problems. And if it enters the bloodstream, then there are lots of, it can go and park anywhere in your body, in the bloodstream. So that is also bad. These asthma problems, they all come from air pollution. And not just the asthma health problem, but also the global warming problem. So there are two issues with the air pollution. And water pollution, of course, if you consume it for some period of time, you will end up with bad problems, bad issues there.
Okay, ma'am.
Kiddos, did you know a fun fact just before ma'am was talking about polar bears and stuff? I read somewhere that polar bears do not have, actually their hair, their fur color, it's transparent. It's the color of the eyes that gets reflected, and that's why they look white. Did you guys know that? See, a small fun fact.
If you give me a minute, I'll pull out that slide if you want.
Yeah. How else are our school science kids doing fun things at home with science? Anybody wants to share something? Monsoon season comes, and when I was a child, I would take my notebook and make all this boats and go to it. What else do you people do? How do you have fun with science?
We do planting. We do plantings.
Excellent. See, we have a botanist, a budding botanist with us. I'm probably an agriculturalist too. And what else? How else? Gardening, you can learn about bugs, insects, plant life, fruits, whatnot. What else? What else are you guys exploring?
We have many sparrow in our garden because of we have so many plants.
Sneha, you are in one thriving environment: gardening, sparrow, bird watching, animal life. All right, plant life, excellent. How about all of you others? Anything else that's going you explore? How many of you look up at the sky and see the stars and wonder?
I like that.
You do? Excellent. See, Ritvik also raised his hand. And as ma'am was rightly saying, pollution with all that smoke that comes out of vehicle and our factories and everything. Some days in metropolitan cities, we don't see the stars, beautiful twinkling stars. So maybe that's also one way we can, kind of keep our pollution down, so we can see our stars and the constellations, the big bird. Yeah. How many of you would like to go boating if there's a lake close by?
Maybe
Yeah, you would?
I am scared of boating.
Oh, okay. Maybe yeah, it's okay to be scared of. A lot of us are. Trust me, I am also scared of many. Maybe a life jacket, a parent, somebody you can trust. You can try that.
No, my father said I am too short to go this.
Shortness is something you'll go into.
Can I share?
Ma'am, she is. The water I was just bringing it up only because madam talked about water pollution. So the more water we conserve, the more we'll have to play, drink. So that my point was only that. It looks like Dr. Sheela has her slides ready.
So now, if you see that, you see the entire slide?
No, madam, it's not visible.
It's going back. Okay. Can you see the entire slide?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So here carbon emission is plotted as a function of number of years it's going to stay in the atmosphere. Okay. And what are the different effects that happen, that is given on the right side. See, carbon emission, suppose, I mean, it now if it is released, in about 100 years, it starts peaking. Okay, it takes about 100 years to peak. Because of that, the sea level rise due to ice melting happens, which is very sharp. And if the sea level rises, many of the islands will sink. Right? Because water will come on the islands and people cannot live on those islands anymore. And then the sea level rise due to thermal expansion. Because the global warming, the sea also starts getting hot. And so that is going to last 7 centuries. And then temperature stabilization takes a few centuries. After we stop liberating carbon dioxide, it takes a few centuries for the temperature to stabilize. Carbon dioxide stabilization itself takes about 100 to 300. So there are a lot of effects that happen. There are lots of effects that happen because of carbon dioxide emission. And carbon dioxide comes out basically because of fuel usage and because of coal thermal plants. Those two are the main sources of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So if we consume less electricity, we'll be saving some coal from burning. And if we use less fuel, we'll be polluting less around us. Okay?
Ma'am, thank you. It was really, I'm sure the kids have now understood the value of using our resources with common sense, with some presence of mind and consideration for everybody around us. Kiddos and parents who are also listening along with the children, any questions that has come to your mind about how you can help our environment, how we can reuse? There are a lot of, as ma'am said, be considerate so that there's more water for all of us and we can all splash and play. There will be more fish and dolphins for us to see. Anything else that's coming to your minds that you want to ask Dr. Sheela about? Ma'am, looks like the kids don't have any questions at this moment. Thank you seriously so much for this quite enlightening. The centuries it will take for degradation and like the effects will last so long and all was quite we were quite unfamiliar with that, the long lasting effects that we are contributing to on our own individual level. I think the biggest takeaway is to be more considerate and conscious about our resources. And I thank everybody who has been here with us for this hour to learn about the environment. And thank you all actually. And we have more events and webinars planned. Please do come attend those also. Madam, I sincerely on behalf of Skoolz, I thank you for taking your time out to encourage all our young to have that curiosity about science, to to start their process of getting into science. So thank you so much for that. Kishan?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, madam. Thanks for your time. The short notice that you were able to make up, and that was really wonderful information.
I wish I could put together some slides, but just that there was no...
I understand. Right. No issues, madam. But yeah, the amount of knowledge you shared was immense. It is more than a slide, is what I feel. So thanks a lot, madam, for your time and knowledge shared.
And all our audience there, all the children, tomorrow is an absolutely fun webinar coming out where you can find out all the joys of being a scientist. ISRO scientist is coming here to talk to you guys. So please do come, attend. It will be nice. You can talk to a scientist from ISRO, all the satellites and stuff, rockets. You can ask them about it and all. So please do attend our webinar tomorrow. Thank you, Madam. Thank you so much for your time and the effort you put in into being a part of our school's webinar.